No, I mean, you're right in saying that there are only two ways of reducing the fiscal deficit. I mean, one is you do more realizing of taxes. That doesn't mean necessarily raising rates. You just apply the rates you have to collect more money, broaden the base, etc. The other is you have to reduce your expenditure. Clearly, some expenditure is very important and should not be reduced, but then there's other expenditure that is less important. I mean, examples of that would be freebies of various kinds, which, seem to be politically motivated. But to be honest with you, whenever you think of a freebie, you have to think about whether the same money would be better spent in some other way. And I think most of the freebies we give, some of them I think are quite justifiable, but many of them are not and could be cut. Subsidies should be seriously reviewed. Again, these are difficult things. I mean, for example, a lot of economists will tell you that the amount of money that we are spending today on fertilizer subsidy is only helping the fertilizer industry. As far as the farmer is concerned, excess use of fertilizer is only kind of damaging the soil. This requires very detailed consultation, bring the industry and the farmers on board. Many agricultural economists, for example, say that, instead of putting so much money, for example, in fertilizer subsidy, if we gave it as a production-linked incentive to the farmer, that would be better. At the very least, you should get away from subsidizing just one input. At the moment, we are hugely subsidizing fertilizer and we're not subsidizing other inputs. So there's a distortion. Now, this is not an easy thing to do just as an arithmetical exercise. You have to get the agriculturists, the economists, the farmers into a discussion and come to some sort of an understanding of what is in the best interest of the country. But I would say that, for example, privatization. I mean, for some reason we haven't. Government had announced that we're going to get rid of government ownership of public sector except in very limited strategic areas. I think privatization would gain a lot of revenue and we should do more of it.
But now the government is talking about strategic investment and they are saying that public sector companies are getting better returns like HAL. Their stock prices are 10 times hiked in the last.
No, but you see, let's be clear about it. The real question is, if they were privatized, would they get even better results? I mean, maybe HAL is getting better. Hindustan Aeronautics you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that the aircraft industry, military aircraft and other things, there's a demand boom. Question is, if HAL were privatized, would it get better returns than what it is getting now? If that is so, you may be able to realize much more value. I mean, I think we would be much better off if the government had a few more better hospitals and less HAL. So it's a choice. So you can't have everything and then just let the fiscal deficit go awry. I think, look, let's face it, we have to ask the question. We are not the only country in the world. If other countries are managing with a fiscal deficit which is less than half of ours, then how are they managing? Now, one argument could be that they are not delivering health, they are not delivering education, but that's not the case. I mean, they seem to be doing a better job in some of these areas than we are. So I think we really need to look at our own system.
But they don't have such a big population.
No, but we are talking about percentages. No, they may, whatever there is, we have a population, we have a GDP. Okay, if you're looking at emerging market countries, they become a reference point. कि भाई अगर वो कर रहे हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते? That's the issue that has to be raised.
One thing.